Hello and welcome to our live Manchester United transfer news blog on this fine Sunday first morning. Stay tuned for the latest rumors and reaction from Old Trafford throughout the day. Man United leads £74 million race for Carlos Baleba, but bargain swoop for aggressive Belgian enforcer makes sense. Manchester United are, for once, looking forward to building from a position of strength when the January transfer window opens. Ruben Amorim's job will be easier to persuade players that Old Trafford is the place to be if the Red Devils are sitting in the Champions League places. One player has already, reportedly, given his preference as a host of big clubs circle, and it could be the latest Premier League swoop. There has been less risk taken with recent signings, with Jason Wilcox preferring proven players. Linked last summer, United are said to be Carlos Baleba's first choice when he leaves Brighton with a £74 million price tag reported and follows in the footsteps of players like Alexis Mac Allister and Moises Caicedo in terms of moving from the South Coast in big money moves. The 21-year-old made an immediate impact when he was thrust into the Seagulls' starting 11, but has seen his form dip from last season's high. Bayern Munich, according to Sky Sports, are being put off by the transfer fee but remain keen on the powerhouse midfielder. Baleba is joining up with Cameroon for the African Cup of Nations and will be hoping that competing on the big stage serves him well for the remainder of the campaign. According to Data MB, there is one particular area where he needs to improve. Using a data comparison model, Baleba has improved his dual success rate and how often he has won possession, but has dropped off dramatically in terms of his passing and ball carrying. If United have several targets for January, one way that they could save on strengthening the midfield is by picking up Belgium's first choice number 6. Despite competing against big-money Premier League players, Rangers' Nicolas Raskin is currently the man who Rudi Garcia has labeled as an aggressive midfielder and who he trusts to do the dirty work of teammates like Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku. Raskin was more than a match for Bruno Fernandes when the two met in the Europa League and excelled in front of 80,000 fans at Old Trafford. He might not be the tallest player at around 5 foot 9 inches tall, but he has a huge leap and is a set-piece threat given how good he is in the air. For around £20 million, the 24-year-old could be the defensive midfielder that Amorim is looking for. Man United get a £70 million transfer boost as player holds talks with wife amid contract row. Manchester United have been linked with Borussia Dortmund forward Kareem Adeyemi ahead of the January transfer window. Ruben Amorim will be hoping to strengthen his Manchester United squad in January. Manchester United have been given a major boost ahead of a reported £70 million transfer pursuit for Borussia Dortmund forward Kareem Adeyemi. Bild claims his wife, Loredana, a rapper, would prefer her husband to find his next home in a major European city. The report claims his new agent, Jorge Mendes, has held talks with United in November ahead of a potential move to Old Trafford. Adeyemi is said to be considering his wife's wishes amid uncertainty around his Dortmund future. The star is currently in talks with his current club over a contract extension, with the German international keen on agreeing on a release clause. The Bundesliga giants are said to be reluctant to include this, but with his current deal running out in 2027, there's a fear he could leave for less. The club are reportedly hoping Adeyemi will agree to a £70.2 million €80 million release clause, though his player has other considerations. Mendes has also held talks with Inter Milan, and a move to either Manchester or Milan would seemingly tie in with Adeyemi's wife's wishes. However, it remains to be seen if United will make a formal approach for the 23-year-old, having spent big in the summer transfer market. Adeyemi predominantly plays out on the wing and has scored 32 goals in 127 appearances in all competitions for Dortmund, setting up another 22 for his teammates. Kareem Adeyemi is a reported United target and valued at around £70 million. The German international, meanwhile, was recently charged and fined €450,000 for possession of 2 illegal weapons, a knuckle-dresser and a taser, neither of which is allowed without an official permit. Taking to Instagram, Adeyemi apologized for the incident, saying, "You have probably seen the headlines about me in the last few days. It is not easy for me to talk about this. At the beginning of 2024, out of carelessness and without really thinking about what I was doing, I ordered a so-called mystery box on the internet. It contained items that are not permitted under weapons legislation. Many months later, the package was delivered and ended up unopened at the police station. Nevertheless, it was a huge mistake, one that I am very sorry about, that cost me dearly and that I deeply regret. I know that I am in the public eye and have a role model function. I did not live up to that. That is precisely why it hurts me all the more that I acted so recklessly. I have learned more from this than I can put into words, and I promise you that I will avoid such mistakes in the future. Thank you to everyone who still trusts and supports me.